I'm Mark,
I'm Adam.
And I'm Helldiver.
and this is the Chandler Podcast, episode 14.
Please, don't insult me, okay? I invented the chat and cut. This is amateur hour. If I was gonna do it, you wouldn't even notice. Is the pig Parker. This is chaos. Society can't function like this. That's just shoddy.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop, brother.
Woo! Oh, big gulps, huh? All right. Well, see you later.
So why don't you make like a tree and get out of here?
Chicken! McFly!
Well, the jerk store called. They're running out of you.
You're their all-time bestseller!
Pretty good.
Bro, we figure we's a little juice.
No, we sing the juice.
Where's the juice?
No, we sing the juice.
Great show tonight. We're gonna have a good one.
Yeah?
What a schmohawk!
Hey, what's up, guys? This is the Chain Lift Podcast. It's been a while since we've done an episode.
Yeah, it's like 3 weeks.
Month. It's maybe a month.
Yeah.
But we're back with a special guest. And this is the first time we've had a guest on our podcast. And it's something we've been wanting to do for a while, but we've never really taken the time to figure out how to do it.
So we're waiting for that extra special person.
Yes, the extra special person.
Unfortunately, that person couldn't be here, so we have Nick.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just
you guys got jokes.
Yeah. Okay. So today,
Totally kidding.
Yeah, today we have with us our good friend Nick,
Mm-hmm.
Nick Saban, not the coach Nick Saban,
No.
the person of Fort Wayne Nick Saban.
So you're telling me he doesn't have 5 college football championships?
As far as I know, he doesn't.
I just live in the worst state in the world.
Yeah, but he,
Ah,
Nick Saban is one half of Airtime Misfits. I'm the other half.
Yep.
AirtimeMisfits.com. We design and sell vintage and defunct coaster inspired merch like candles, shirts, enamel pens.
The stuff's great. I mean, seriously, you should go to the website,
Yes.
airtimemisfits.com. It really is really great stuff.
Yes. Welcome, Nick. How's it going?
oh, it's going. How about you guys?
We're good.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Little
good.
bit, huh? That's the
Yeah.
state of the world, isn't it?
Yeah. But Nick recently went on the trip with us out to Salt Lake City. We checked out Lagoon for the first time. So we're going to get into that in a little bit because we have some fun stories from that park.
Yeah, and I think it's a fun topic because I don't think a lot of coach enthusiasts have really been to Lagoon. It's not like
No.
one that it's just sort of out in the middle of like you can't really package it with anything.
No, it seems like if you're going to Lagoon, you almost, unless you live nearby, it's kind of like a direct fly in, check out the city, go to the park, and then fly back home.
Which we did.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas most of our coaster road trips, you can drive and
Sure.
package a bunch of parks together. So anyway, I think it's a little bit, it'll be fun because not a lot of people have been to Lagoon, and we'll give you our thoughts of Lagoon and of Salt Lake City because we had some time to check out the city, and we'll let you know what we think.
Yeah.
But to start off the show, we're going to talk about some news in the amusement park industry.
Okay.
And speaking of Lagoon, as of today, October 9th or 8th, I think it
It's the
is.
8th.
Yeah.
I got my
Lagoon,
flu shot today, that's why I know. It was on
lucky
the
you.
8th, yeah.
Lagoon Park, they have dropped the trademark for the name Primordial, which was the rumored name for their new coaster, which is under construction. It looks like a giant mountain right now.
Yeah, if you go to our Twitter page, it was a Twitter, Instagram. I posted some pictures of it.
Yeah. We also did a walkthrough. Nick narrated the sexy part of the
Oh yeah.
The
walkthrough.
sexiest part, yes.
Yeah.
Now, ladies and gents, he is a married man.
Yeah.
I must say, yes, this is true.
But you can see in the walkthrough video that we point out where in the park Primordial is being built, and you can take a look. But anyways, so they're dropping the name.
And I will say too, anybody watches our YouTube channel, I do all those day of videos, and I got tons of really, really great footage of Primordial that I will eventually do a video of when I get some time.
Yeah, you got some great footage.
Yeah, so
it looks like, I don't know if, I mean, I'm assuming COVID kind of halted the construction of the coaster. It looks like there's still quite a ways behind in the ride.
They're at least 2 years away, probably.
I don't know if it's going to be open in 2021. At this point, it doesn't look like it.
I'm guessing 2022.
Yeah, but it looks really interesting because there's just so much secrecy behind the coaster. No one really knows what it's going to be, but it'll be interesting to see what names they trademark going forward.
Well, in true Lagoon fashion, they pick terrible names. So, I mean, I don't like Primordial, so I'm fine with it, but I'm sure they'll pick something worse.
It's not Cannibal. Let's be honest. It's not Cannibal, but yeah, I agree. It's
Yeah, it's better than Cannibal. Cannibal is the worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst name ever.
I don't hate it. I think with the right theming, it could be cool. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of like a King Kong type of theme, like with apes and.
So Cannibal, Primordial, and Bombora.
Bombora, yeah.
What is a Bombora?
It's actually it's a cool term. I looked it up when I was doing the walkthrough. It means something like surfing or something. I forget.
It is like water themed.
It was cool, yeah. Actually, I think that's one of their better names.
What's the best name in the park, Nick?
Oh man, I don't know. I mean,
coaster wise,
gosh,
they're either really bad or very simplistic.
Yeah, like Spider. Spider's real basic. Obviously, Wild Mouse is as basic as it gets.
Wicked's base.
I think Wicked. Yeah, Wicked's cool. Colossus the Fire Dragon's just unique.
VelociCoaster.
They really branched out on that one hard. I mean, real creative genius.
I mean, it ain't my favorite name. I think Wicked's the best name there. And it's just like, eh.
What's their Schwarzkopf Jetstar called again?
Colossus. Oh, Jetstar 2. Sorry, yeah, that's Schwarzkopf.
What's it called?
Jetstar
Is it just called
2.
Jetstar? Oh, so it's just called 2. Jetstar. Yeah, Jetstar 2. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't have great names. I actually probably Bombora might be my favorite.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah. It rolls off the tongue well. Okay, moving on. We've all seen the footage of the awesome coaster being built at Universal Studios in Florida. Universal Studios finally announced VelociCoaster, which we knew that was the name because the name had been trademarked for a while. But they finally announced it with concept art, with animation, and holy crap, it looks awesome.
Oh man, yeah. I don't even know where to begin with this. I mean, it's going to be one of a kind. Like we saw the construction updates. You think, oh man, this might be something like Maverick tier maybe, or something even a little bit better than that. But seeing kind of the whole concept of it, it's mind blowing, really.
Now they didn't release like a full blown POV yet, right?
No, in the video that they released, there are portions of a POV.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah,
but it mixes between POV and off ride footage. So not a full POV yet, but what you can see in the video, it's only like 60 seconds long though. It looks incredible. Like the theming is top notch.
And it's definitely Intamin, right?
I believe so.
I'll fact check real quick, but yes, okay. I do believe so.
Helldivers on the case.
Helldivers on it. Don't doubt for a second.
I'm pretty sure it is Intamin. The trains look spectacular.
Oh yeah.
They have like really cool lights on it. There's some concept art of how the coaster looks from across that lake at nighttime, where it's just like all these lights glowing from the ride. The rock work that you like interact with, there's like raptors, like dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm. You go in the building at sometimes, right? You just find new buildings.
Yeah.
I think Mark and I, we were supposed to go to Florida this year, but with COVID, we decided to postpone that. Next year, though, that's our goal, to get to Florida, to the Orlando area. Between that and Hagrid's motorcycle.
Well, then Iron Gwazi too.
Iron Gwazi. But in Universal Studios in particular, though, their theming of these two coasters, Hagrid and VelociCoaster, is just, it's incredible. Like next level theming.
So what's your guess that this whole project cost?
Oh,
did they say? I mean, the coaster alone's got to be $30 million, right?
Easily.
I would guess, with the coaster and the theming and everything, 30 million plus. I would guess.
I think probably just the coaster was that much.
Yeah.
And the theming alone, I can't even. The theming looks so detailed. That alone has to be another 10 to 15, maybe 20. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. Universal's got a sky high budget.
Yeah, it reminds me of, I think the coaster is called Terran at Phantasialand.
Yeah.
Which, definitely.
It's like it's a similar style coaster, but there's like a lot of rock work that it interacts with and everything. And yeah, it looks awesome. It's a multi-launch coaster too, by the way.
Yep. Now, is this like Jurassic World or is it the original Jurassic Park?
Jurassic World, I believe. Ugh. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I know.
Well.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I think with the new Jurassic Park movie coming out, they're like mixing the two movies.
Ugh.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I rode the Jurassic World ride at Hollywood Studios in California.
Yeah.
At Universal Studios Hollywood, and they had just recently, like as of last summer, they remodeled it from a Jurassic Park theme to a Jurassic World theme, and it wasn't great. Like, it lost its charm.
Was it the river ride?
Yeah.
Clone? Oh, I rode the one at Universal.
You rode it was Jurassic Park,
Mhm.
yeah. So when I rode it, it was Jurassic World. It just, I don't know.
Is Chris Pratt all over it?
Yeah. Yeah. It is okay. I mean, it's still fun, but I prefer the Jurassic Park theming. It's classic.
Yeah, and by the way, back with more information on that fact check you sent me on.
Yes.
It is an Intamin. Yes, it is.
Oh, I love me some
We
Intamin.
need breaking news music.
Oh, we really do. Yeah.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Breaking news. It is an Intamin.
Okay. Inman makes my favorite.
I'm sure everybody's
places.
yelling. Yeah, I already knew that. It's not breaking news.
Yeah, well, to us it is. Okay. Another big story this past week. Kings Island made like a surprise announcement that they were offering up slices of the Vortex track, which was recently removed, up for sale for $198.70.
You know, this really grinds my gears because I have been AWOL from like any coaster news for like a week, and I've been so busy that I would have bought a piece of that. And that sucks.
And a lot of people were really upset. So from what I think I understand, they had about 200 pieces available for sale, and it came with like postcards and a certificate of authenticity, and it was like a really nice presentation. They were only for sale at the park, so the only way you could get one is you had to show up at Kings Island, which made a lot of people really mad because they didn't reserve any at all for people who would want to buy one online.
Yeah,
so people are really upset. I think it's really cool that they did that. I don't know how much money they raised by just selling slices of this coaster, but it got me thinking, why don't parks do this more often? This is like such an easy way to raise money to build new coasters.
Oh, I know.
Just like imagine if they were selling pieces of Son of Beast.
Oh man,
pieces of wood, $50 for a piece of 2x4.
I know.
People would buy them, and you could pay for your next coaster.
Oh yeah, it's like I mean, back in the day, they did the Mean Street pieces, and you see those go on eBay for hundreds of dollars. I mean, secondary, and I think I the more I think about it, like I like the idea. However, I think I don't know, like it'd be hard to sell it online. So I kind of see where Kings Island's coming from, where it was a park only exclusive.
Yeah,
but you also do want to find a way to make it available to people who might not be able to make it too. So I don't know. It's a tough. I don't know.
Did they send the train somewhere?
They sent it to
Carowinds,
for Cyclone.
Yeah. Yep.
Cyclone.
Cyclone.
It was Carolina Cyclone.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Yeah. So they're going to be reusing those trains. Yeah. I think they posted a photo recently with the new paint job and everything.
That's right. Yeah.
I wish they'd send me the Vortex sign.
Oh yeah, that sign is awesome. That'll probably go into a museum somewhere.
Yeah. It belongs in a museum.
But it is cool though that they were selling those. And I have to imagine some people, because they didn't put a limit either. And I think some people were buying extra ones just to put on eBay, which I think is kind of crappy.
Yeah.
I don't know how you stop that, but I don't know. It's cool that they offered that.
Definitely.
Yeah, terrible coaster, not gonna lie, and that's gonna really upset some people. But it is still cool because it is nostalgic. But yeah.
I agree.
We are purveyors of nostalgia, so I appreciate it.
I agree. It wasn't my favorite coaster, but I appreciate it for its historical value.
We do have a review of it. We did like probably 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
You can find it. I'm sure the quality was
not our best. We're still learning.
I think I gave like a 5 out of 10 at the time.
Yeah. I appreciate it, but it wasn't my favorite to ride.
It's a great logo.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, this last bit of news is going to excite our friend Nick the most because Nick happens to love stand-up coasters.
Sure do.
And B&M, they just released like a blueprint of a new restraint system for stand-up coasters. So it's the stand-up coaster system, but using like their newer vest restraints like you see on their wing coasters.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think about that, Nick? Does that have you excited?
Yes and no. I say that because I really, really, really don't like the vest restraints at all. And it's such a polarizing restraint system. People love it or hate it. I fall on the side where I just don't find them comfortable at all. I find especially on like dive coasters, it just really holds you back. Whereas like on a Griffin or something like that, it's just a different experience altogether. But with that said, I mean, I guess if you're going to make an already, and I acknowledge that the stand-up coaster model is terrible. It's outdated. It's not good. I love them nonetheless, but
I feel like who loves getting his nuts crushed.
Yeah, hey, you know what? I'll keep that between me and God. But
well, tell the people what your favorite coaster is.
Oh, I'm the biggest fantas of Mantis. I gotta say it. Yes. I've got a Mantis tattoo. It was my favorite coaster growing up, and I don't know why. It just was. I attached it to it, and now my entire basement is decorated with Mantis paraphernalia. So also, please take this as a plug. If you have Mantis merchandise, hit me up. I will buy it from you without any question.
You don't have it all yet?
I'm working on it. I'm missing a couple odds and ends, but I think I have to have most of it.
Yeah, and I've seen his collection. It's an impressive amount of Mantis stuff. Like I imagine you have to be pretty close to owning every piece of merch that they've ever sold. Plus, you have like some really unique stuff too.
Yeah,
it's a really cool collection.
Yeah, it's my pride and joy. What can I say? I have a child. She's great, but this is my pride and joy.
Right.
Yeah, I will say it is still to this day one of my favorite color schemes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Beautiful looking ride.
Yes.
Yeah. It was just one of those things. Like I moved to Ohio when I was 6. It was like 1999. So right before Millennium Force was a big thing, and like Raptor and Mantis were the two. You guys probably remember those days. Those were the two, stars of the park. And I don't know. I was like, Raptor's cool, but I just latched on to Mantis, and I don't know why. Anyway,
the first half is spectacular. The second half is your typical early 2000s, late 90s B&M second half. A couple corkscrews. And that's about
Helix, it.
That's about it.
Yeah, but the rumor is though that this new stand-up restraint is for a coaster being built at SeaWorld, or was going to be built. I don't know if it's been put on hold, but it's a surf style coaster. Mm-hmm. So I don't know exactly what that means. I don't know. I'd be interested to see what the trains would look like, and I would give new. What are you doing, Mark? Mark's dancing over here. I would love to give like a newer stand-up coaster a try.
Yeah.
I to be honest though, I don't like stand-up coasters. The last one I rode was probably Green Lantern.
Yeah, we rode
Great Adventure.
Was it the last one we rode?
Yeah, I think so. Or like
terrible.
Vortex at Carowinds.
Yeah, you know what? I think stand-up coasters entirely depends when they're made. I've heard Scorcher is like as good as it gets, and that was the newest one built.
Yeah,
that's what everybody says.
I love Riddler's Revenge. Truly, I hope they never convert it and move it. Obviously, they wouldn't convert it there because they already have a floorless with Scream.
Right.
But if they did convert it, I would be heartbroken because it was a very, very smooth ride. With that said, though, I feel like the vest restraint system, after a lot of thought, would fit really well with the stand-up model, because I noticed, like, obviously with your nuts getting crunched, like, that's gonna happen. Yeah. But the other thing you have is you get a lot of head banging, and I feel like it would have a more comfortable ride around your ears, depending on how tall you are, obviously. But I feel like the vest restraint might work for that. But with the surf model particularly, I'm glad that they're trying to pay homage to that old, B&M's first coaster ever was a stand-up. Like they're going back to their roots, but in a new and more innovative way. And I think that's really neat. So.
Yeah, I think I'm not a huge fan of the vest because it gets a little bit too constricting. And like you were saying with dive coasters, it especially kills a lot of the hang time and air time.
Big time.
But I think with a stand-up coaster, though, I think the benefit of not getting the headbanging could be a positive.
Absolutely. I think about it more and more, and I think that's the only model I would really prefer probably having a vest restraint.
So I sort of saw a picture of this.
Yeah.
And I'm not joking. I'm serious. Like, how is the Nether region area? Is it the same thing as the original stand-up coaster?
From what I saw and what people have said online, it's pretty much the same. The only thing that they've changed is like the vest part, the shoulder restraint.
Interesting.
Which I don't know. I think that was like the least of their problems.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They had some like foam right there.
Yeah. if you have to ride defensively, it's just not a good coaster model. You know what I mean? Like you really have to plot out. Okay, I need to bend my knees in such a way so that my crotch isn't touching this thing. And
like,
yeah,
I wonder if there would be a way to do it. Probably not, where you don't have anything between your legs.
I wonder. Yeah, I mean,
you'd have to have like a restraint, like coming around your stomach, probably.
Yeah,
kind of like a Togo, like the old Togos in a way.
Oh man, those crushed my kidneys. I hated that.
Yeah. I never got to ride one, and I would have loved to have ridden like I don't know, Shockwave.
We rode
Skyrider and the one at King's Dominion.
Was that one called Shockwave at King's Dominion?
Yeah, Shockwave.
Okay. Yeah, I think last year before it closed.
Open,
yeah. Oh, I hated them.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, so do you have a Mantis ride photography sleeve?
Like an on-ride photo?
Like on my tattoos?
No, in your collection. That's actually
sleeve. Oh, like for the on-ride. No, I don't. I would love to have one. I'll buy one. I'll buy it off you. Let's talk after.
You can have it for free.
What?
Yeah. I just realized, I have a Mantis on-ride photo sleeve. It's in perfect condition.
Oh my gosh.
It's really cool too.
We know that you'll cherish it and probably sleep with it under your pillow.
Well, I certainly will. You can count on that. Absolutely.
Just our next trip, just buy me a taco.
Oh, I got you. I can buy you a taco. No problem.
Yeah, I'll send that with Adam next time he sees you.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet deal. All right, that's all the news. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about our trip to Lagoon.
I'm not.
Well, I will. I'll be here. All right, see you.
Hello, friends. The only thing better than riding a world-class roller coaster is having a world-class cup of coffee. And we got that cup of coffee for you.
Yes, we do. That cup of coffee is from Green Glass Coffee Company, located in Paw Paw, Michigan. They specialize in artisan roasted specialty coffees made honestly. They take pride in providing you coffee that has been resourced responsibly.
That's right, folks. So go to greenglasscoffee.com and get this delicious coffee. And when you wake up in the morning and you're drinking it and you feel alive,
think about us.
Think about us.
greenglasscoffee.com. Honestly made, honestly good. About 2 weeks ago, we went to Salt Lake City for the first time. I had never been there before. Mark's never been there before. Nick had been there before, but he had not been to Lagoon. So
correct.
It was a particularly exciting trip for me because I was excited to finally go to Lagoon. I didn't really think I would be going there anytime soon.
It wasn't planned.
No, it definitely wasn't planned. COVID changed our plans massively from what we had planned going into the summer, but it kind of worked out, though. I'm glad that we got to go out there. Lagoon, it was a really fun park. It's a beautiful area.
Definitely.
But when we flew on Friday, we got to check out the city a little bit, and there was definitely a lot to see, and Nick was a sweetheart, and he made this itinerary for us.
Hey, I'm a planner. What can I say?
Yeah, but we did some thrift store shopping, local thrift store shopping. Mark got a cool beaver T-shirt,
and you will see that on an Indiana Beach video coming very soon.
Ooh,
that was probably okay. The beaver shirt and the pair of sunglasses that Mark bought at the dollar store were the buys of the trip.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you follow us on Instagram, you may have seen these sunglasses.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we posted tons of stories everywhere. We took pictures of the sunglasses with it. Never has 3 grown adults got so much joy out of dollar watermelon sunglasses.
They're children's sunglasses, white sunglasses covered in watermelons.
Yes.
And they were the tiniest sunglasses. And when they were on like Mark's face, they looked like swim goggles. Like I think they were so tight that he could go swimming and his eyes would stay dry. Anyways, if you want those sunglasses, you can find them in the water feature of Cannibal. Because
Or the Lagoon roll.
Mark Brett Favre them into the water. right past Nick's face.
I thought I was gonna die.
Some lucky maintenance man
is gonna find those, whip them on his face.
Now
and say deal with it.
Now I wonder if they won't ever see them until they drain the water out at the end of the season.
I don't know. Is that a year-round park?
No.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
At some point, they're gonna have to drain the water out, and someone's gonna
go
up
there
there
and
and do it. Like, find some hair ties, maybe a phone or two, and then some sweet children's watermelon sunglasses.
Absolutely.
He's probably gonna think, some little girl's probably really sad that she lost these glasses.
There's a
little does he know there is a little girl that's really sad she lost her glasses.
I guess before we talk about Lagoon, though, we'll talk about Salt Lake City in particular, because there's a lot of cool stuff there. We met one particularly interesting man who ran the Airbnb that we stayed at. He was quite the character. He had a lot of photography in the room.
Yes.
The room was nice, though, I thought.
Yeah, it was shout out to Lyndon, by the way. Lyndon's our guy. But we get to the Airbnb. Gosh, it must have been.
It was late.
10:30, 11. It felt like 1 o'clock to us because the time changed.
Yeah.
We get in and he's like, "Oh, I got to show you all my photography." All right. We put this outside, and something that hasn't been mentioned yet is that Salt Lake City is incredibly foggy right now, just with all the wildfires going on.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And it was late at night. Where I'm sure on a clear night you could kind of see the outline of the mountains. But he took us out where you could get a good view of the mountains probably, and it was all foggy. And he explained that it was the wildfires, and then he proceeded to tell us that, yeah, I get a lot of guests here. They like to go sit out on my deck and look at the view. I get a lot of couples that come out here, and they like to, do their work and do their onlines. And, bless his heart, man. He's all about the onlines, and I appreciate it.
He is.
He's like a 60-something-year-old man, I'd guess, venture to guess.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He refers to computers as doing their onlines.
Doing the onlines. Yes.
We have not stopped saying that since we got back.
No, he was a very charming man.
He was.
I would stay with him anytime.
He was.
Absolutely. Yeah. We recommend it. Look up Lyndon if you're staying out in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, it was a nice house.
Yeah, I mean, he had his backyard had an amazing view of the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Very good price.
Yeah.
And he had crackers, and he had oatmeal.
Oh yeah, they provided a little bit of a breakfast for you in the morning.
In the smallest shower in the world.
It was like a coffin shower. It did the job though.
You could literally you couldn't even put soap on because the moment you put soap on, the water just took it right off.
Yeah, there was nowhere to go where you weren't getting wet.
You almost had to stand outside,
lather up outside the shower, and then jump back in. Yeah, but it worked.
Mm-hmm.
We also, Nick and we appreciate a good cup of coffee, so we got to check out some local coffee places.
Yeah, we got to go to Blue Copper Coffee and La Barba Coffee. And we're here to tell you firsthand that they, and we don't either, but they really don't mess around with the whole social distancing and wearing a mask thing. We got yelled at one shop, and we sure learned our lesson, even though we were minding the rules, they were a little suspicious that we were.
Well, you were staying outside, weren't you? You were staying outside. They had a table set outside.
He was standing too close to me.
We had our masks on. They said, "Hey, are you two together?" And we just assumed, "Oh, are you two paying together?" We're like, "Oh no, we'll pay separate." And they were like, "Okay, well then you need to back up."
Back off.
Yeah.
All right, gotcha.
Yeah, and we were being safe, but not safe enough. And I guess I appreciate that rather than the opposite.
Right.
But for the most part, though, I would say every place we went to, they did a pretty good job of respecting the COVID rules.
It was a city that took it seriously.
Yeah.
Lagoon took it seriously.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. Felt safe.
Mm-hmm. We did some. We did some scooting around downtown.
Like at 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah, after Lagoon, we went to check out downtown Salt Lake City. We rented some of those scooters.
Yeah, Utah Jazz basketball stadium.
We saw. I looked up on Stockton Shorts on his statue.
Yeah,
wasn't impressed. Got to be honest.
No.
Yeah, that was a cool experience though. I think that was Mark's first time on one of those scooters.
It was. I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you were a little hesitant at first. You were a little sheepish.
I was sheepish. Nick was like Helldiver was flying down the road at full speed, like
ripping it up.
doing
I'm
tricks.
an old pro. Hey, we got nothing else to do in Fort Wayne. I'm always scooting around, man.
He was ripping it up.
Yeah, that was fun. We went to the church,
the temples, Temple
Square.
Square. We checked that out. It was closed, but I mean, it was beautiful. Salt Lake City, it's a beautiful city. It's really clean. It's a large city. It's the capital of Utah, but it has kind of a smaller city feel.
Yeah, it's very like besides like the mountain area where the downtown kind of sits up on top. It's very flat. It's very big, very big and flat.
Yes.
But
yeah, I like how the skyline's kind of engulfed by the mountains. It makes the actual like downtown area look so small, but it's probably a pretty average sized downtown area, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, the mountains really makes it look smaller.
Well, it really sticks out too because everything is so flat. Like you could be like facing north and you see mountains. When you turn around and face south, it's just flat.
Yeah,
for the most
it's
part.
interesting. Yeah.
Speaking of flat, we got to go out to the Great Salt Lake.
Oh yeah, yes
that was
we
a lot
did.
Of fun. It smelled pretty bad out there. So
smelled bad. I stole a rock from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you bring it? You did?
Yeah. I took a rock, took it on the airplane. It's out in my front yard right now.
The airport didn't take it.
No, they didn't take it.
So they let you take a rock, but I couldn't bring a pop on.
You're sour. Oh, Mark bought a what was it? Was it Fago or something?
It was like blue raspberry, it was like Sour Patch drink.
It was a Sour Patch Kids flavored blue drink,
which we don't have in Michigan. So I got one with my daughter. She was very disappointed.
So he bought it to bring it home. Then I informed him that he couldn't take liquids on the plane.
But Adam could take a rock.
But I took a rock. Yeah. So yeah, I got the rock. But yeah, it was cool to see the Great Salt Lake. And we ate at the Taco Bell in the area, and it was pretty good. It wasn't bad.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I got nothing but good to say about the Utah Taco Bell experience.
Yeah. Oh, we did drive up the mountains into Park City, Utah, which is a really cool little ski town, which is also where the Winter Olympics were held.
92?
2002.
Yeah. So you could still see like some remnants of the Olympics. It's a beautiful area, like super expensive to live there.
Very upper class,
but beautiful. Like it's pictures and videos don't do it justice how pretty it was.
Like every restaurant, like building was like almost like log cabin looking in a way. Like it was very cool.
Very cool. So we did all that stuff like when we first got there, and then Saturday was completely devoted to Lagoon.
Yes.
Which was open 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. If you go to Lagoon, make sure you get you have to make a reservation.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that. So we got there right at 10.
Yeah, they're doing Halloween right now.
Yeah.
A very smaller version
of
it.
Which is Frightmares. That's what it's called. So when we were there for the Frightmares, which is cool because the park was decorated for Halloween. We weren't sure what to expect as far as how busy the park was going to be. We weren't sure what to expect for wait times. So when we got there in the morning, this is a side note too. On this trip, Nick, myself, and Mark, we were all going to get to our 250th roller coaster.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we were super excited about that. I think, Nick, you only needed 2 or 3 credits to get to 250.
Yep.
Mark needed 5, and I needed a full 10 to get to 250, and they have 10 coasters there.
Yep.
So Mark was wanting Cannibal to be his 250.
Because I'm a nerd and I take it seriously.
Yeah, so
of course.
Nick had to settle.
Well, I don't think he sold too bad though. It's a very unique coaster.
You know what?
Was it Colossus, the fire dragon?
Yes, it was Colossus.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Colossus is probably my second favorite coaster in that park. We can talk about that more in a little bit.
Yes. So going into it, we were excited to get to that milestone, but we knew we had to knock off some rides for Mark before we could ride Cannibal, because we had to get those 5 credits in for Mark before we could ride Cannibal. So we knocked out. There's a tip, people. If you're going for coaster credits, when you go to the park, head to the Wild Mouse coasters first. Head to the family coasters first.
Spider and Wild Mouse are right next to each other.
Yes. Wild Mouse is a Wild Mouse coaster, obviously.
A very terrible one.
Yep.
More on that later.
And then Spider is like a spinning Wild Mouse type coaster. From our experience, if you hit these early in the morning, there's usually no wait, but like by later in the day, it's always swamped with people because it's a good family coaster.
Yep.
So we knocked those out. And then third was Colossus the Fire Dragon, which was Nick's 250.
Yep.
And you were saying, Nick, that it was one of your favorite coasters at the park?
Oh man, yeah, it is just I'll say there's nothing quite like a true like vintage Schwarzkopf. They are smooth as silk.
Oh, I agree.
They are gray out machines. They are just
You guys
so
grayed
much
out?
fun.
I grayed out a little bit. Yeah.
A little bit. Those Helix, I mean, I don't know, man. Those are some pretty strong
The
Helix.
Helix. Yeah.
Man, I didn't know I was dealing with a couple of wusses here.
Hey, you know what? Wuss, we say enthusiast, but that's all good.
Yeah.
I was honestly like, I've heard people say that they really like it. I was honestly surprised like how smooth it was though. Like it was like butter smooth, and it was forceful.
Yeah.
Very.
It was incredibly smooth because I think I recently looked this up. I think the coaster was added to the park in the 70s.
That sounds right.
Yeah, but it is incredibly smooth and it's really fun. Really fun.
Man, the first drop is incredible. It has a nice swooping drop.
Yeah, and another thing that I was impressed with about Lagoon with Colossus in particular is how fast the ride ops are.
Oh yeah.
Like Colossus, pretty much all day it was just a complete walk on. And the park got busier later in the day, but it was a complete walk on because they like churn those coasters out, like no messing around.
Oh, there's no waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had 3 trains going, and there was no waiting. The thing that kind of blew my mind, and we talked about this a little bit when we were there.
Actually, I think they only had 2 trains going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah,
There's
but they
only
don't
2.
do the all thumbs up like clear. They just like they send you. You know.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
It's just you're
You
in.
just go.
Okay, here you go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's a good point. I was commenting on that when we were there. I've never been to an amusement park where like there was like no hand signals, there was no clears, there was no like you're at Lagoon, you know, Utah's best amusement park.
Enjoy your ride.
There was none of that on any of the rides. You literally sat down, they checked your seatbelt, and they sent you. That's it.
Yeah. There was no even like, welcome back. How was your ride?
No,
it was just
none of that.
nothing.
Nothing. There was none of it.
Heck out of here.
Like,
It doesn't bother me.
No.
It was fine.
No, it was great.
I preferred it because don't wait, just send it.
Right.
But like, can you think of any other park? I've never seen that before.
No, I've been
never.
to because I don't mind when parks do that, but sometimes it gets annoying, especially when you're hearing it over and over and over and over again. And when the person saying it isn't saying it enthused at all, you know, they're just saying because they have to.
Yeah.
But one time I went to Michigan's Adventure, I was like one of maybe 30 people in the park, not exaggerating. And I rode Corkscrew completely by myself. And the guy still did the same spiel. Like, all right, guys, are you ready to go upside down 3 times?
Did you go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. And then like rolling back in the station. Welcome back, riders. How was your ride?
Were you honest?
I was like, oh, it was pretty good.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've had
it's
better.
mediocre at best.
Yeah, but I was like, it's just me, dude. We can just have a conversation.
Yeah, it was fine.
To
Thanks
give me
for
the
asking.
spiel.
Well, also too, I always hate the ride ops that like try to be stand-up comedians, like
Oh,
or they,
yeah.
or they
Oh, yeah.
sing, or it's like, all right, come on, Jerry Seinfeld, just send the train. I mean,
Right, yeah. Or like, we're not going to send this train until we hear everyone screaming like, that wasn't loud enough.
it's like, dude, it's
I
6
paid
o'clock at
admission,
night.
just
I'm
send it.
tired. There's an
Yeah.
hour wait. Send the train.
Yeah. But another thing I noticed about Lagoon, which probably helps with their ops, not many, maybe any coasters at all had seatbelts.
Not a lot.
A lot of them had like, I know Wicked, Cannibal, they had like those like clamshell style restraints.
Yep.
I don't remember ever really buckling in. Maybe on like
No.
Puff the Little Fire Dragon.
Colossus didn't have one.
Yeah.
Did Wicked have a seatbelt?
No,
I don't
it
think
didn't.
so. It
No.
just had that clamshell.
Yeah.
Wicked Cannibal
Roller
I
coaster.
mean,
I don't think roller coaster.
Nope.
The roller coaster.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
mm-mm.
So
No, roller coaster was the Millennium Flyer? What was that?
yeah.
Yeah, it was the Millennium
Yeah.
Flyer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was without the seatbelt, so it was
Yeah.
interesting.
Yep. So that definitely helps with ops.
It's like an Nobles thing again.
Yeah, we're not having to belt in. Yeah. So we got in Colossus the Fire Dragon, and then I think after that, did we ride Wicked?
Wicked, yep.
Yeah. So going into Lagoon, we had kind of heard mixed reviews about Wicked, but I was really surprised pleasantly with Wicked.
Yeah. Well, yeah, when you walk, those that haven't been there, when you walk in, like the entrance is almost like right dead in the middle. You could turn to the right, like Wild Mouse and Spider and Wicked and Colossus are like literally right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then VelociCoaster's right when you walk in. But I guess getting back to Wicked, yeah, it was what I expected, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
The first half is really fun.
Yes, yeah.
Really fun.
Like the launch into that first hill, and you launch while going up as well. There's like a launch section going vertically.
Yes.
Which is a really cool feeling. And you get a really cool pop of airtime at the top. Yeah, the first half is really, really fun.
Oh, yeah, great. And then the second half's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great night ride. I mean, we all kind of talked about that. It was a beautiful view of the city from the top. I mean, for the split second you're up there, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, I agree. I feel like the second half just kind of lingers. Like, I can't remember if there's a mid-course or something, but like toward the second half, you start to kind of plateau with your speed. And you never really regain that. You just kind of meander around the course until you hit break ground.
Would you take Skyrocket or Wicked?
Oh, Skyrocket for sure.
Yeah,
I would take Skyrocket.
It's longer. It's
Yep.
They're pretty similar though. They even have that weird like wavy track on the second half.
Yep. I love Skyrocket though, man.
They're very similar layout and everything, but Skyrocket's a little bit longer, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah. It definitely felt like it.
Yeah, and that's Premiere.
Yes.
And this one was a Zaire.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is it?
Yeah.
Zaire.
No. It was. Hold on. Fact checking.
I'm pretty sure it's Zaire or Zero, whatever it is.
Zaire. Yeah. Hold on. Let's see here. I got this.
Hold on. It's on the case.
It is Zaire. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
2007 it opened. I did not know that. That was a long time ago. Okay.
Yeah. It's a really fun coaster. Especially, I think we rode it 3 times. The last time was a night ride. That was my favorite ride on.
Definitely.
Yep.
Because it felt like it was, especially the second time we rode it, we noticed like how much more intense it was. Like it had been warming up.
Oh yeah, same with Cannibal.
Mm-hmm.
All the rides were really, even like Colossus, man, that thing was hauling by like midday night.
Yeah. So once they got like all greased up, like they were really impressive, like another level.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wild Mouse. I want to talk Wild Mouse for a second. It's terrible. It is so rough, but I appreciated that little house.
Yeah. There's a little tunnel thing. Like it's pretty cool. Like there's some theming. I see. That's what I appreciate about Lagoon in general, and I'll come back to Wild Mouse. But man, the theming all throughout that park is top notch for every ride. Like even that kiddie like spinning dragon ride.
Yeah.
Like just crazy theming. Yeah.
Odyssey, was that the
octopus? Odyssey was the ride that
was
we rode.
so fun.
Yeah.
But Wild Mouse, it is your standard mouse coaster you've ever seen, but it has this like really cool, like they built this like makeshift house like right in the middle of it. And it's the funnest part of the ride, not because the house has a couple of like little like bunny hills like through it.
Yeah.
Well, other than that though, that ride is terrible. It's the worst mouse coaster I've been on.
It was almost like you were going through it too fast. Like you were going through the hairpin turns too fast.
You kept like slamming your body to the side.
A little bit too breakneck.
Yeah. Enough about that.
Yeah. So
Spider was our next one.
Yeah, Spider. So for those that don't know, Spider, the ride is actually a clone of Laugh Track at Hershey Park.
It is.
And it was not nearly as good.
Not even close. You do way more spinning. And if that's and on Laugh Track, you don't really get spinning until about halfway through, or it's very minimal. On this one, you are just going nuts the entire time.
The start, yeah.
And it could have been a little bit of weight distribution because there were 3 of us, and so might have been a lot of off balance. But even then, it was spinning like out of control right away. Like going down the hill, we were spinning out of control.
Yeah, it's been so much that like we had no interest in rewriting it. It was just a little bit too much. Like it was. Luckily, we rode it early in the day, but it would be like the kind of coaster if you ride it at the later in the day, like it'll give you a headache.
Yeah, definitely.
And me and I were just at Hershey. Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
I was just saying, cool theming. I mean, it was like very cool theming, but not worth a re-ride for sure.
Yeah, because it has a giant like spider at entrance. You walk underneath. It's really cool, and even the sign's really cool. Is it like the spider and the fly?
Yeah. And then you like even walking into the station, you go up this like spiral tower.
It's great.
And then you walk in. Like they do an excellent job with their theming. It's not like Universal Studios over the top big budget theming, but for a small budget,
charming.
Like they do a great job with their theming. Even like Nick was saying, like even with their like flat rides and kids rides, like every ride has like a nice entrance sign and really good theming.
Yeah, I was saying too. We and Am were just at Hershey like a month ago, and we love Laugh Track.
Yeah.
And
Man, I loved it.
Like I had heard this one spins more, but I was like, it's okay. I can handle a little bit more spinning. But no, it was one time. And I was like, all right, I'm done.
Yep.
Ooh, dog.
That was a dog barking.
Yeah, but then on to RelociCoaster.
Yeah, RelociCoaster, which is their oldest coaster at the park. It's one of the oldest coasters in the world. I think it's the seventh oldest.
1920,
21, I believe.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah,
it's in the 20s. Yeah, so it's an Ace landmark wooden coaster for how old it is.
It's I love the entrance signage, and I love the station. I think Nick said it almost reminds you of like Steak and Shake.
Yeah, especially at night. It kind of looked like a Steak and Shake.
Yeah,
but it just had like that really retro diner look.
I feel like I should wear a poodle skirt when I'm walking in,
or like have on roller skates.
yeah. It made me think of like a budget racer station. You know what I'm saying? It had the neon like racer at Kennywood.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of cool and vintage looking, but it had its own type of charm. It was a fun ride, but man, it was and granted we rode it kind of early on, but it was running a little slow, I think. But in general, it wasn't a bad ride. It was smooth. It was fine. It's
completely harmless. Like it's not bad at all, but it's not like good. It's just it's fine.
What I thought about it was almost too slow.
Yeah.
Like it felt more like there was absolutely no airtime.
No.
It felt more like a really fast train ride.
It was just relaxing. Like you just you put your arms on the seats and just kind of.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it wasn't rough, really.
No, not at all.
It was just like not thrilling at all.
I would say it's a great backdrop.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in the parking lot, you can actually like the parking lots do connect. You can walk between RelociCoaster. There's this nice little path area, and like there's a great like shot like with the mountain. It looks great with the mountains. And it has when you go up the top of the hill on these old roller coasters, it has like the wooden signs usually. It has a great Lagoon sign. It looks really cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's just a good double out and back type of layout.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's not like Adam said, there's not much airtime or anything. It's fun. It's cool little. It's charming for the park. I'd say.
Yeah,
I appreciate the we always love the vintage stuff. It looks great. I think it used to be white because like now all the paint's like peeled off it. It looks really good, just wood.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. They should just leave it alone.
And I think even back in the day, they used to call it like the white roller coaster or something for a while because it was all white.
Yeah, but it looks great, just the wood. Just keep it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And
then on to the main event, I guess.
Cannibal.
Head over to Cannibal. Man, this ride. So that was my 250.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the most unique coasters I've ever been on. Like ride layout wise, after the drop, as your dive loops, as your Immelman, but like the elevator and the drop is unreal in person. Video does not do it justice.
Mm-hmm. It was so cool. Yeah, like the ride, they do a good job with the theming. Even like Nick was pointing out to me while we were staying there waiting to ride it, like even the supports for the ride, they painted them to look like bamboo.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just like really impressive. And they do a good job. Like once you get into the station, you get on the ride, like right from that point, like the story begins, and it like they do a great job of like building tension as like you roll into the darkness. You hear like this tribal drum beat. And then there's like these massive statues over your head.
Like elephants, right?
I couldn't tell if they're elephants or like gargoyles or.
Yeah, it was dark. I can't tell either.
I think they're elephants
because there was like really moody lighting on them, so you could just barely make out what they were.
Yeah.
And then you enter into the elevator shaft, and during the day, if you look up, you can see there's sunlight coming in from the opening. 200 feet above you, so
208 feet.
208 feet. So there is like enough natural light to kind of see inside of the tower, and it was so cool to see like the elevator system.
It was like I was expecting like when you watch the POV, you can't get a sense of what it really looks like in there.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just like your train just barely fit in there, and it was like a one train thing, and you just rose up. It's actually like too big. Like
if you are familiar with Pilgrim's Plunge, which is at Holiday World, it was an Intamin water ride. The elevator system they use on that, and Knott's Berry Farm had one also, right, Nick?
Yeah, Perilous Plunge.
Yes, same system. where there's like 2 side-by-side elevator lifts that are working.
Thanks for saving me.
Yeah.
I was flailing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really impressive engineering, especially taking into consideration that Lagoon designed this coaster mostly in-house, like 75% in-house.
75% was designed, built, and engineered in-house. And I know that because we just did a review on it, which will be on our channel soon. Yeah, but and then when you get to the top, it's like a dive coaster where you sit on top and let you just sit there.
Yeah.
And then you drop with a 116-degree angle, which is at the time was the number 1 steepest when it opened in 2015, right?
Yes.
And it just got overtaken by the Shredder coaster. Was it
TMNT? Yes, Shredder.
There's like Shell Racer or Shredder or
Shell
whatever.
Racer, yeah, it's Shell Racer, yeah. I think.
American Dream, I think is
American
the name.
Dreamland Mall, something like that. Yeah.
So what's the angle on it? Because Cannibal is 116.
I feel like it's 118, 120, like
just barely over.
I feel like it was just to break the record.
I mean, do you think we're gonna get like much more than that ever? Do you think we got like a 140 or something, like a 130?
That'd be wild. I would not be surprised, but I don't know how they do it. I really don't know, because like you really feel every bit of that 116 degrees on Cannibal. Like, I don't know how they could go more extreme than that. You know what I mean?
It was cool.
Yeah, to me, like it almost felt like an inversion, like, or the beginning of an inversion, like how steep it was.
It was cool. I will say I was making a point too, like because I think you sit on top and you stop. Like I didn't feel as like the stomach dropping as much as I could do like on Maverick though.
Yeah.
But it's one of the best drops I've ever been on still though.
I appreciate that it holds you up there though, because it gives you time to.
Oh sure, I love that. Yeah.
And once you get to the top of the elevator and like the view is revealed to you, it's really cool, especially at nighttime, because you just see like a sea of lights and like a silhouette of mountains, and
it's right in front of the highway. You see cars zooming by, headlights. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, if you look to the left, you can see downtown Salt Lake City, which is like 20 miles south. So
yeah,
it's cool. It's
You're
impressive.
In Farmington, Utah.
Yeah.
Then you drop into an Immelman, and then you kind of go into a dive loop, right?
Yeah, and then you hit the brake run, the mid course, then you hit the Lagoon roll after that.
Yeah,
which is you start off counterclockwise. It's basically just 2 hardline rolls. You start off counterclockwise, and it kind of makes you parallel with the water, and then it puts you the clockwise side. It's really unique. They call it the Lagoon roll.
Yeah, and I like it especially because you go through it rather slow.
Very slow.
So you get some good hang time.
You really feel
it. Just a lap bar, by the way. Like,
yes.
That makes all the difference.
It's just a lap bar. Like, you go so slow, I was able to huck some sunglasses in the water.
You did. Yeah.
So, and then after that, you go into the finale, which is a 360-degree helix through like this rock formation, and you're dipping down. There's more water on the bottom of it.
Yeah, there's a waterfall. It gets pretty intense on that helix. Like I borderline grayed out on that helix.
Yeah. It's by far the most forceful part on it. And then you go into the brake run. You know, so going in, I was expecting like an 8.5 out of 9. I achieved that for me. What about you guys?
Oh, definitely. I think it was definitely. I'd say honestly, probably, and I think I said this after we got off the last time. I said this is probably a solid 9 for me. And what would have given it a 10 is if it were just a little bit longer, like 1 or 2 more elements, and I would have been sold. Like it would have been a top 5 coaster for me easily.
It is 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
It is, yeah. But it just, you know what I mean, Lo? Like right before that helix, I feel like they could do 1 or 2 more things before entering that finale. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe like 1 corkscrew or something.
Yeah, like even like a wave turn, or you know what I mean? Like it's got to be something. Maybe even, like a hill of some sort. I don't know.
Like some cool S turns, like kind of going back through the structure.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Just one more thing, but I mean, even then, I'm not at all complaining about that ride. It is so good.
Yeah, it definitely met my expectations. It probably. I would say it exceeded my expectations because I knew it was going to be good, but I kind of set my expectations low just because I didn't, want to be disappointed. I knew it was going to be good, but it was incredible. It was one of the best new coasters that I've ridden in a long time.
It's really unique. Like, I mean, everybody in the coaster community knows exactly what it is. The elevator shaft. It's it's pretty iconic, really, because I mean, there's just nothing like it.
No, not at
Right.
all. Like even in the world, I don't know if there's much like it.
No, but
I don't think so.
That mixed with the park, which is great. We all really like Lagoon a lot. If you can afford it, it's totally worth flying into Salt Lake City just for a weekend or a day trip and going there and riding it. It's such a unique coaster.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
I would definitely love to go back again.
Oh yeah. I think you said it. It's like a mix of like Kennywood and like Knoebels mixed together.
Yeah, I agree with that. Kennywood, Knoebels, Waldemere a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Kennywood to me is like it's like a low budget park on the verge of being like a big budget park. It's like right in the middle. This is what Lagoon is too.
Yep.
Would you agree with that, Helldiver?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think it was definitely like, I think it had the charm of Kennywood. It had the overall kind of like attention to detail like Kennywood, and had that small regional park.
Yeah.
Like feel like Kennywood. But obviously, I think Kennywood is probably better, and I can get into that. I don't want to get into all the specifics, but
sure.
like,
I mean, I prefer Kennywood, but
it's got the charm though, for sure.
Yeah.
Jetstar was not open.
No,
unfortunately,
really sucked.
Which is stupid because it wasn't closed for maintenance. It was closed because of social distancing. But like, it makes no sense though, because like they weren't like spacing the trains out at all and any ride, and like it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah, because like Marc was just saying, so roller coaster, any ride, like, well, we've been to many parks this summer. A lot of parks are skipping rows. So
every
like,
park, I think, pretty
every
much.
other row, they have people. Lagoon wasn't doing that at all. And for them to have Jetstar closed for COVID reasons, it didn't make sense. And then another point that Nick pointed out while we were at the park is the log flume was open. And the log flume, it's like the standard style where you're sitting like in a row.
It's nuts to
people.
butts on those, man.
Nuts to butts, yes.
Just like the Schwarzkopf.
Just like the Jetstar, it's nuts to butts.
So, but it makes no sense.
Yes, and sure, you could have said no single riders. That's fine, but generally with those coasters, they're not putting strangers together in those trains because they hold like 4 people anyways.
The bobsled.
Right, it's the bobsled.
Yeah.
So you're not going to, generally they don't put strangers together in those anyways, but in this particular case, you definitely don't. It's just you're only with your family, with your party. That's it.
I was looking forward to riding it. I know Nick was too, for sure.
Oh, very much so. I love a good old Schwarzkopf. I mean, I wanted to compare it to Tiger or Tigger or whatever you want to say, but
Tiger,
Tigger, I don't know.
Yes,
now,
I've heard it both ways.
Is that the only park in the world that has 2 Schwarzkopfs in it?
I was actually wondering about that. I don't know.
At least
it might
in the United
be.
States that I can think of.
Indiana Beach used to. Like, they took Galaxy out.
Was Galaxy a Schwarzkopf?
Yeah, but unique. Well, so after the disappointment of that, the next closest coaster is the Bat, which is just your standard Vekoma kiddie ride invert, like the aerial chase and what's it called at Canada's Wonderland?
Silver Bullet,
Kitty Hawk, and Carowinds,
Blue Streak, no,
Silver Streak.
Silver Streak.
Yeah. That's not Silver Bullet.
We were close.
Yeah, they all feel the same.
Yeah,
nothing special. The entrance sign's really cool.
Yeah, and again, it had a cool station, and it was cool because you're weaving around some trees and stuff, and they had good theming with like there was a cave with some bats. You didn't go through the cave, but it was by the queue. So I mean, for what it was, it's cool. And again, like with the setting of Lagoon, like being at the foothills of this large mountain, like all the rides look cool.
Oh yeah,
because you have a great view.
Yeah, and right next to it was this really cool flat ride called Odyssey.
Oh yeah,
It's a big octopus, and the tentacles obviously hold the trains.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one where you control yourself. You can go up and down, and there's like spritzers.
So cool.
Yeah, there's spritzers.
Man, one got me right in the face.
Yeah.
I didn't know it had spritzers in it because I just kept going up and down, up and down, up and down. And one hit me right in the eyes.
I got hit right in the ear, right in the earlobe.
And it's a delayed thing too. Like Adam would be controlling it, and he'd like be like, "All right, we got to dodge this," and he'd go up, and it would be like, it would get you right before you move.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice the spritzers like before we rode it? I didn't.
I did.
It surprised me. Okay.
It was fun. I love that. I mean, I think there's only one more of those to my knowledge, and it's at Disney. So
I think Disney has one. Yep. Yeah. And then Bombora, which was another coaster there that was designed in-house, which is like a really fun family coaster. Great theming
Oh, it was
again.
great.
Built in house. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the better kiddie ride. It might be my favorite kiddie coaster I've ever been on.
Yeah, I agree. It was
Easily.
really good. Mm-hmm.
It was really good. That or Cosmos Curves, the steel vengeance of the kiddie coasters.
Yeah, that was really good too.
It's one of those too.
Yeah, because like rides like Fire Chaser Express, that's considered a family ride.
Coaster, not a
yeah,
kiddie
so
coaster.
if you're just talking about kiddie coasters, yeah, this is one of the better
Bambora.
ones. Yeah,
Good stuff, man.
Really good.
That one really shows up in the mountains.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it was beautiful. Yeah, beautiful setting.
And then was the final coaster
the Puff,
the little fire dragon, which going into the park, I needed 9 coasters, not 10. I needed 9.
Yeah.
So it worked out, even with Jetstar being closed, that I was still able to get to 250 if they would let me on the coaster. I wasn't sure if it was one of those coasters where, like, because this is like a kiddie coaster.
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
Like
3 laps.
Yeah, like you get 3 laps. It's just like a loop, like tiny coaster. And sometimes with these coasters, like if you don't have a kid, like dice, they're not letting you ride.
We've been turned down.
Yeah, we've been turned down before. We had to do a walk of shame before from a kid's coaster. But this one, no problems. They let me on, got to 250. I purposely picked this coaster for my 250 just because I like to make my mile mark coaster credits like silly ones.
Yep.
Usually kiddie coasters. So Puff the Little Fire Dragon's 250 for me.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just whatever, a loop. It's nothing special.
Yeah, nothing special at all.
No, but it's got a good name.
We should say Adam has a haircut. We're going to cut this abruptly very, very quickly here.
I have a haircut appointment.
Nick got his Helldiver nickname there.
Oh, yes.
And I'm never going to let him...
Yes, you may have been wondering why we keep calling him Helldiver.
It's not because of his red hair.
It's not.
Well, that's what I've been telling people, but...
So they have a flying scooter ride there called Flying Scooter.
I think so.
I think so.
Nick?
Or Flying Aces.
Flying Aces. That's right. Aces. Yeah. So we wrote it, and each little bird had like a different. I don't know if it was a sponsor name or what it was, or just like
a fake sponsor kind of thing. So it looked like a race car or something like that. Yeah.
So before we rode, though, we kind of were like picking out which bird we wanted because they all were painted different. And Nick was like,
Helldiver.
I got Helldiver.
Did you want Helldiver because it was orange or it was just the name? Or because you keyed in on that right away.
It just looked so. It was the badass looking one. Mm-hmm. So I was like, "That's mine. I got it."
Well, it was like a full name. What was the first name?
Curtis Helldiver.
Curtis Helldiver.
Curtis. Yes.
Curtis with 2 S's.
Yeah. Curtis Helldiver.
Curtis Helldiver.
Curtis like a snake. Helldiver. Yeah.
It was a pretty good flying scooter.
It's not like Knobles.
It's not like the Knobles one, but it was pretty solid. And
I think we got to talk about one thing before I even his haircut. So you would almost not even know it.
Mm-hmm.
But Lagoon it's like a big rectangle.
Yep.
And over by Puff, in between
like their wave swinger
and their pirate boat, there's this path that you go, and it takes you to, was it
Pioneer Village?
Pioneer Village.
Yep.
And there's lots of trees there. There's the log flumes there, and the Rattlesnake Rapids.
Yeah, their rapids ride.
Their rapids ride is back there. It is. I'm serious. You can't see Cannibal. You can't see anything. It is almost like you stepped in a totally different park.
Yeah, it's so cool because you're even closer to the mountains. There's like Marc was saying, there's way more trees. Like it feels like a totally different park.
Oh yeah, you seriously forget you're in Lagoon.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely different.
It was my favorite area of the park.
It's beautiful back there. Beautiful.
Park.
And they have this whole like sectioned area with like restaurants and like museum type old houses and
they have like an old timey looking street where you can walk up and down and like go inside like these little shops. They're kind of like little museum shops.
Yeah, there's a carriage museum.
Yeah, it's like going to like a frontier village type of thing, like stepping back into time. But it was super charming.
It's serious. Like I'm not even exaggerating. It's almost jarring how different it is from Lagoon.
Because it's really easy to miss the path to get back there, and it took us like almost to like midday before we like even went back there. Once we got back there, like, wow, we can't believe how nice it is back here.
The Rattlesnake ride, we did ride Rattlesnake Rapids. It was a lot of fun.
I was gonna say Rattlesnake Rapids is another ride there. No seatbelts, so you're completely free to like roam around in the raft while you're riding, which we did.
Of course.
And I full blown fell on Adam.
Oh yeah, because the reason why we were standing up and moving around is because we didn't want to get like soaked, so we were trying to avoid like some of the waterfalls and stuff. And this ride it's fun. Like the theming is nice and the area is beautiful.
With the mountains and the trees.
Yeah, but so we were like kind of standing up, moving around, having a good time, and then we hit like some pretty rough rapids, and Mark went flying into my lap. But it was a good time.
Yeah, because they always have the Velcro seatbelts on these things.
Yeah,
no seatbelts. None.
This is the first. Like I was riding, like standing up, holding on to.
We're walking.
It was
pretty
fun.
much.
Yeah, it was. The area of the park is beautiful. I mean, right now they only have 2 rides of the log flume and the rapids ride. I think it'd be a great area to add in.
Oh
a
man,
coaster back there, some flat rides.
They got a lot of land there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, huge amount of land.
We were talking. How can you not like? I know Primordial. They changed the name now, but and I know it's cool that they're building their own stuff and it's unique. But man, put an RMC back there. How great would that look by the mountains and like that theming back there?
Yeah,
Lagoon. You got to put an RMC back there.
Yeah. I mean, definitely take advantage of that space back there because it's beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. Mm-hmm. Make sure if you guys go to Lagoon, go back there. And I'm telling you, you're gonna be like, holy crap! It doesn't even feel like the same park at all. It almost feels like I almost went back in time a little bit at first.
Like it's a little bit like more Dollywood, Silver Dollar City.
Very much so.
Back there,
definitely. Yeah,
very much so. And I was shocked that they built. I figured it'd have been like newer-ish.
Yeah, but it's one of the original areas of the park.
Yeah, because it almost looks even newer than the rest of the park.
It does, yeah. Uh-huh.
It's weird. It's really weird.
It's a lot less busy back there too, obviously, because there's not many rides back there. So it's pretty quiet back there. Like if you just want to chill out and relax.
I would have guessed Rattlesnake was built like in the early 2000s. I think it was like 92 or something like that. 94.
Yeah, it was mid 90s for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we could talk about more, but I know MS will get his haircut.
Sorry.
So we're going to cut it shorter. But is there anything else you want to say about Lagoon? Really like you impressed you or like thoughts that we didn't talk about?
Oh man, I loved how on the nose they were with enforcing social distancing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they had people with picket signs walking around the park saying, "Get away from each other," pretty much, and it was great. Like
I think
they really took it seriously. They had the rules, they enforced them.
I was gonna say of all the parks I've been to, I feel like the
Cedar Fair parks are crazy.
Cedar Fair probably is the most thorough, but I feel like Lagoon did a great job like in the midways and like in the queues of like you said with the picket signs, like constantly roaming around reminding people. But like
even the clientele just seemed better about a period though.
Yes, there was a couple of boneheads that we saw, but I would say like 95% of the people were like cool and followed the rules. And like Lagoon did a good job of doing like friendly reminders. It was never like confrontational or anything like that.
It's a really fun park. I think I mentioned Terror Ride and the Dracula Ride.
Oh yeah, the dark rides.
They have 2 classic dark rides, like the Haunted House dark ride, sort of like the Haunted Mansion at Knoebels or Devil's Den at Conneaut.
Yeah,
very cool. Terror is definitely better.
Yeah,
it's short.
It's short, but the theming is a lot better.
It's pretty scary for little kids. I
agree. It was pretty. There's some gory stuff going on.
There's entrails, human entrails everywhere.
little disturbing if you're not ready for it. That's for sure.
The Dracula one is much more kid friendly, but they're both fun. Very, very vintage feeling. Very like old, like small. But I loved them. I love that stuff.
Yeah, I like those too. Yeah, they're really cool.
And the terror sign's amazing. It's very colorful.
It just kind of rocks back and forth,
and it constantly rocks back and forth and squeaks.
Yeah, they have cool flat rides there, and their Ferris wheel's pretty cool too because your individual carriage that you're in, you are able to like completely spin it. Like there's like this dial in the middle where you can like rotate your carriage around as fast as you can, a teacup ride.
Yeah, we got going as fast as we could, and Nick was not having fun.
No.
Oh, dude,
nope.
That was
he looked a little green.
Speaking of green, one last thing about Terror Ride too. There's a zombie that opens shutters. Tell me I'm wrong. That looks like just like Michael Jackson.
Oh yes, on the outside of the ride, next to the sign. If you look up, he or she sticks their face out, and it looks just like Michael Jackson.
I'm telling you, it's Michael Jackson.
Yeah. So in conclusion, definitely get out to Lagoon. Like if you're an enthusiast and you've been thinking about like, is it worth it? Is it not worth it?
I wasn't sure.
I wasn't sure either, but it's worth it.
I didn't know what to expect. Like I knew that they don't have like world class coaches. I would consider Cannibal one. Like they don't have like the top flight grade A. Like there's a lot of like there's Jetstar and there's Mouses and there's like smaller stuff. but they're all like really smooth. They're really well kept. The park is very charming. There's so many great flat rides there.
Yeah.
Lots of very old vintage flat rides, a lot of newer flat rides. The dark rides are super charming. I'm telling you, it is worth the flight out of there. It really exceeded my expectations. I really like that park.
Yeah, me too. I agree. I would definitely go back. And if you have time, check out Salt Lake City. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's so much fun. Salt Lake City is a really nice city. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much fun.
All right, people.
That's what we learned. What'd you learn, Helldiver?
Well, what I learned, man, I learned that I'm gonna get myself back out there eventually. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You also learned you're getting a Manus on-ride photo sleeve.
I did learn, yes, for free. Well, for a taco, for a taco,
or a hamburger or something.
Yes. Yeah, for something. Yeah, I got you.
What'd you learn, Adam?
I learned that I have to make my haircut appointments later. And I learned that's all. I think that's all I learned.
I learned nothing. I don't know. I guess I don't know.
I should have been paying closer attention. I learned that it's fun having a guest on our show.
I learned,
and we learned how to do it.
Actually, yes. I literally just learned that Primordial was getting a name dropped, and I learned that Vortex was selling track. I had no idea.
Yeah, the amusement park news was actually news to Mark.
Yeah, I have been AOL.
America Online.
Do
Mark
your
has
online.
been America Online.
Mark's doing his onlines.
AOL. All
right, people. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram.
Yep. And to be a professional podcast, we're supposed to say, please rate and like.
Oh, yeah.
And leave comments, because apparently it's good for searching.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone listening, if you really like us and respect us even a little bit, especially, hey, the guy's name is Helldiver.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Leave a comment talking about how great Helldiver was.
Yeah. You can check out the Chain Lift on Instagram and Twitter, on YouTube. Also, we got some videos come out of Lagoon. Nick, where can people find you?
You can find us at airtimemisfits.com. We got merch for sale. We got all kinds of defunct stuff you can check out. Also on Twitter and Instagram at Airtime Misfits.
Yep. What about you? Do you want your personal one at all? I know you post some coaster stuff on there, or do you just want the Airtime?
My personal line is between me and God, but I guess I can make a play. I can make a play. At N717, you can find me on Instagram, and I post the coolest photos you'll ever find on there.
Yeah, he does post a lot of really cool coaster photos and stuff. So
no pressure.
But he's a good dude. Follow him.
Yes. All right. Thanks, Nick, for being on the podcast. We'll have you back.
Yeah.
You're the best first guest ever.
I'd try my best.
We'll have him on again.
All right, everybody. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
All right.
See you later.
Bye, Nick. Thanks for being on the show.
Curtis.
I gotta run to get my haircut. My haircut's in 8 minutes.
Get to that haircut.
All right, bye.
See you guys.
All right, see you, Nick.
Bye.
Oh, crap.